Corruption is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
C'est aussi encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas loupé nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a quoi qui j'ai loupé prince. L'Amérique n'a pas loupé. T'as bien de moi avec nous deux. En ce moment, on va battre au moins néo. Mon temps dit est à mon mouillé. On s'abat des fois moins dit quoi. Abela lo kan yo. Ka go so ju lo. Hey. Awaye. Ati o lo a. Yao. Abela lo kan yo. Mi bi to jogba yi. Mi bi to nọmba. Ma ti si mo kan yo. Manager Gigi. Ouais, t'es jamais forcé. Si tu connais. L'animateur Choco, Nosca, Yassin, de Toyebi. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Aniché les deux.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Good evening, folks. Samson to Labra Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again tonight for tuning in. Please share this video to as many people as you can, so that all of us will come together again tonight to have a conversation. Libra is here. I'm not here to take kumbaya or have a friendship, whatever. But we're here to discuss the issue that are affecting the Republic of Liberia, folks. Again, this is the Libra. Liberia Public Radio, Samson To Conversation with Samson To is on tonight. Tell your friend, let your friend tell the friend, let your friend tell the friend, let your friend tell the friend, and so on and on and on and on. Share the video. Share the video to as many people as possible. Let them come and join the Libra here again this evening. We are here to discuss the issue affecting our brothers and sisters back home. We will do our best to engage positively. We will do whatever it is it's going to take to engage positively. No violent preaching. We will speak to the truth, and we will address the issues that are affecting our people. I want to thank all of you again tonight for tuning in. Safety, Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening. We want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here. Because of you, we are here. Thank you. We ask that you continue to guide us. We ask that you continue to bless us. We ask that you continue to give us life. Thank you, my Lord, because you are in control. Without you, we're nowhere. Those of us that believe in you and know you and have faith in you, that because of the faith we have in you, our lives will continue to improve. Thank you. Thank you for showing to those who don't know you that indeed, if they come and know you, their lives will be changed as well. Thank you. Oh, my Lord. Thank you. Thank you. We want to praise you again tonight. We want to thank you because of what you do for us all. My Lord, we ask that you bless the people of the Republic of Liberia. We ask that you bless the president of the Republic of Liberia. We ask that you bless the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. My Lord, we ask that you give long life to the president of the Republic of Liberia. Bless his hand, whatever he touches, whatever he goes in the interest of the Liberian people, that his way should be open. The door, whatever door he touches, it has to be open. My Lord, we ask that you help to open the door so that he will do what the people want him to do. It is only through you that all of these things are possible. Let no man fool themselves to think they can do it by themselves. Only the power of the Lord, when it comes on your side, success is for sure. I can attest to it. And I want to thank you. If I sit here tonight and try to save all of the good things the Lord have done for us and me and what I won't be able to get out of here tonight. All I ask, let's continue to pray for one another. The Lord is there listening. He will bless us. What the old saints say, God time is the best. My Lord, we ask again tonight that you bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Folks, we're going to start where we ended yesterday, because this is a topic on ground, bigger topic on ground. The Minister of Public Works today went to the Capitol building, and he was grilled. And Delight, Dallas Dillon didn't take kind to him. But that will be another subject matter later on. The brothers and sisters that are turning to remove Lanti Kofa, one of them was on ERBC today, and since I asked him some question, he wasn't able to answer. He decided to play Huawei. Now you see, now you don't. Taliesin, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate you, my brother. However, they are saying now that they do not have confidence in the speaker. They're not doing removal stand. They're confident and they don't jump on. Other people are holding, the deputy speaker wrote asking his colleagues to allow him to seek legal guidance before he can make any decision. They're using that now as being recognized, that the deputy speaker has recognized him. They are drowning. They are drowning this group of lawmakers, respectable human beings, by the way, but because they fail to recognize and follow the rule of law, they are drowning. And look, if they are not careful, they will find themselves being isolated. They will find themselves not only being isolated, but 2029, they most likely might not come back. They think they own. They're going to have to think twice. Sooner or later, many of the lawmakers will start jumping ship because they're not getting any kinds of traction. They are not getting traction because, not because the people don't believe their allegation, of course, yet to be proven, but people are not disputing or trying to say these are allegations you have no right for. No, it's not that. You have an allegation against the speaker, you're entitled to it. What you're not entitled to is to say, I'm going to prescribe the means of how to remove the speaker. This, they are not entitled to. They are entitled to make the statement. They are entitled to accuse the speaker. But if you accuse somebody, just common sense, folks. If you accuse somebody, you have to give him a day time in the court to exonerate himself or be found guilty. That's just human nature. But these brothers and sisters, they have no interest in that. And that's what I tried to argue yesterday. And I will continue to argue again tonight. When the panelists come on, they have to convince me. They haven't convinced me yet. People are saying to us, these people are just doing what was established back in the days when they removed Honorable Snow. I mean, not removed, but when Honorable Snow resigned and Honorable Tyler resigned from their speakership. Even though the Supreme Court said what the group were doing was unconstitutional, but because they said, well, we don't want to honor his gavel, they left. And because of the pressure, Honorable Snow resigned, Honorable Tyler resigned. They want to bring the same thing to Frantikova. Now, the funny thing about these people is that they are not folks who would think No, I didn't learn anything from it. I was even since that was I was even going to ask you no question because I don't want no confrontation on here on LPR. I will have I love confrontation on LPR, but on the post show I don't want no confrontation because my man then listening. Yeah, people not going to reply on that show, but yeah, y'all bring it on. But over there, my man then listening. But anyway, so. The issue is there are those brothers and sisters who say, because of that, the bad precedent that was set, Frantikova is in trouble. And I'm saying to them, no. These people, they are applying political pressure. And Frantikova is saying, political pressure will not move me. You have to bring legal pressure on me. And Frantikova being a lawyer. Ran to the, you know what the other black, they call them black now. You know, the other group, you know what they're coming out now? Rule 48. They got nothing to stand on. They are standing on faulty ground. Their foundation is not there. Now, let me say again, their argument, their rule, I mean, how do you call it, resolution. I'm arguing like Professor Keenan. I can't even spell resolution. I can't even pronounce it. Liberia, we got problem. Liberia, we serious problem. What? Yeah. So, anyhow, the resolution. They're saying they're accusing the speaker of X, Y, and Z. Nobody, not me. I'm not disputing it. Now, I'm not saying that's correct. I'm not saying that's right. But I can't sit here and say, oh, you can't do that. No, they have the right to do that. However, when you do these things, because you can't say you're going to set a resolution, then you say, okay, but my resolution, I'm not going to apply the way the Constitution says. I will go through the back door. They got problem now. Frantikova is not like Honorable Snow. Frantikova is not like Honorable Tyler. Frantikova is saying, I'm not moving. So what Frantikova did? Frantikova is a lawyer, baby. He getting ready to take the beginning into clinic. He telling them, you just can't be represented here. They don't know anything about law. Because you go grab the college and high school student to run your campaign, you'll get them 5 cents, 10 cents, chicken soup cup and cup of rice and alcohol and things like that. You think that? No, I will show you. Frantikova is telling them, I will show you that these things are not to be condoned in any country that believe in democracy. We pride ourselves on having constitution. And Frantikova is saying, this constitution is going to work for me. The constitution of what people write. I will show you that the constitution, if you don't follow the constitution, if you don't follow the rule, you got nothing. And so Frantikova, the first thing he did, I love the young man. You know, I know Frantikova. I was campaigning for him. I used to say, I said, man, I not slide. You get run to, you go you Huawei, and you're not careful, you get you okra. And now the okra, you giving the lawmaker. all over the place. Listen to the representative. What's his name? Representative Flomo. Go listen to ERBC, the country he was saying to me. Say, asking question, you got first. He said, what say, asking that kind of question? You must tell say to say, what kind of question say must ask you? You look at him. If that guy had been live in studio today, he would have been disgraced. But because somebody have to interpret what Sese was saying, because he can't hear Sese, so when the way how do you call it, the process and the way Sese was pronouncing the words, the way Sese was projecting himself on screen, okay, the guy who was interpreting cannot project it the way Sese were projecting, so it was different. So by the time the question got to the guy, you think that says he coming to you face to face, he won't. No. That's not what I asked. I asked you a specific question, and the way you're not answering, it seemed to me when it says they start telling you, it seems to know you're in trouble. But the guy was not. He got that. He said, "What is it? Ask you that kind of question? He have to. That says you would tell what kind of question you would ask. You lucky. Somebody was between you and says I was laughing. The kids are reading. I said, no, I got a question. The man was confrontational, and I'm not there. But anyhow, they got nothing, my people. Now, let me say again. Let me say. Yeah, you were. But let me say again. Look, if you're going to do these kinds of stuff, now, I've been laughing here, and I was laughing, but I'm taking it serious. These are kinds of stuff, the result of people neglecting the mental trauma of Liberia. We have neglected our brothers and sisters. That because of our action, because of what we did to each other, jealousy of people in power, what we did to bring that war, we have neglected the mental challenge, the mental the ability to reasoning our brothers and sisters. We neglected that, and we're paying the price. Another thing Sese used to say here, because and I'm going to put it back on the wall, because most of the representatives during the war, they were at school age, school going age, maybe high school, or some of them college age, or some of them elementary and stuff like that. But because they did not have the opportunity to continue, that's their school. One of the things that is missing in those process is a civic lesson. The civic lesson for them to understand that when I ask him a question about the rule, about the house rule and the constitution, we take precedent, he couldn't answer. He got vexed because they do not have the civic background of understanding the governing process. These are people, when they came to power, they went to Ghana to learn how to make law. Ghana will not teach you the Liberian civic issues. Okay? Let me bring in Jerry here while I continue my interpreter. Jerry, thank you for joining us. I will soon finish. Ghana will not teach you Liberian civic. They're only going to teach you this is how people make law. You came from there, you got nothing. You don't have the background. And because they do not understand the differences between the Constitution and the House rule, they're getting angry. They're also getting angry. Some of them are saying the Supreme Court is meddling into their house affair, whereas the Supreme Court is the institution that is charged to interpret the Constitution and the rule of law in Liberia. But because they are lacking in their understanding of because they don't have civic background. So and this is what I'm going back at. Because of us, jealousy, envious of each other. Now understanding that if a government is in power, you can be in an opposition to that to that government. But when it's something is have interest for the Liberian people that you have to support, we never pay attention to school. We never pay attention to a lot of stuff. Everything we wanted in our country, every one of us, is how to enrich ourselves. You give any of us, anybody, you give them one opportunity is to how to enrich them. Go listen to the Minister of Public Works today, kind of Tabata you were talking over there. Okay? This is what we are. And because of this trauma, mental trauma, our brothers and sisters suffer during the war. It's carrying on. It's carrying on. Folks, excuse me a minute. I mean, let me call you back. I'm on air. Thank you. Okay. So, because of that, folks, I'm sorry about that. That was my brother. I have to tell him. But anyway, because of that, we have these kinds of issues. These people have nothing. They decided. Now they're putting out another rule from the house how to suspend now, and they're saying they don't have confidence in the speaker now. Yes, what I'm predicting, within 1 week or so, these people are going to change. One of the things they're holding on now, they're giving themselves some legitimacy, is that the deputy speaker wrote them and say, and that's for respect, to say, I'm not ignoring your letter, but I have to consult my lawyer. Now they said they recognize them now. You see it? They got nothing. Let me go to Jerry. And folks, that is my tabata, and we're going to continue until I can be convinced on this platform that indeed these people have the right to do what they think they're doing. I'm not going anywhere. Jerry, thank you, and thanks for joining. We appreciate it. What's on your mind tonight? If you want to pick up from what we started yesterday, that's fine with me. If not, you want to talk something different, let's move on.
Well, I mean, we stay on the same subject matter. I mean, that's the issue. But anyway, our 25th, 26th president, she celebrated her birthday today. She turned 86. And I listened to her speech, and I got different feeling about it. Anyway, congratulations to her. She served our country under the Constitution. She was our leader, and she talked about a lot of stuff. Comparing to me, she was not bold enough. La Brea message she beat around the bush, you know. So yeah, around the bush, but she should have been. She's the first female president of Africa and World War Liberia, and she should have been strong enough and to call the people and say, call it as it is, call it as a Trump as it is, call it space you want to call it. To be honest with you, as a leadership. But anyway, that's what it is. That's what it is. Not her fan in the first place anyway, so let me make that clear. Because all the things that are going on today, she's one of those that started these issue in our country. How, when, I can tell you now, after when you were elected president, they did everything in a weak way. The international government gave her a lot of latitude. Say today, Liberia, you have no debt. Declare all your debt. Ebola came, declare all our debt. What she was doing, gave brown envelope. You see the brown envelope that brought the issue today? That's my symptom we're fighting today now. People are fighting now with the law, but they're fighting because of assignment. Some of them, they are not on assignment or they are not giving lucrative assignment. So for that reason. But my honest opinion when it comes to Fonanti, he on life support. He really on life support. And it's just a matter of time before we pull the plug. And it's just a matter of time. As if these people stand their ground if there's no break, there's no leak, as they are doing, the speaker will give in. And let's see what happened on Thursday. Thursday and see, because every day we keep moving the goalpost. We said last week
Yeah,
Tuesday.
exactly.
Tuesday came and gone.
Exactly, Jerry.
Every day.
Let
Every day we
me
keep
push
moving
back on that. If
every
those
day.
people,
Yeah, go ahead.
if those people have good ground, they won't move the goalpost. One thing, they don't stand good chance with the Liberian people. Liberians are not for their behavior.
Well,
The non-educated Liberians frown on their behavior anyway. They consider them crooks anyway, stealing money. They're not even looking at what plenty data, they're not even looking at it. That's one thing. The educated Liberian, the so-called educated Liberian, are holding on to the Constitution to say if you want to remove Flanti Kofa, go through the constitutional process. The rule of the House, and I will say again, the rule of the House of Representatives, it is below the Constitution. The Constitution says if you want to remove the speaker, 2/3. They're going back, some of the comments that we're hearing today from them, they're not praying to God to get the 2/3. That's what most of them are arguing for now. So right now, what is happening within Yakiam, if there's such thing, there will be a split. Because Liberians are not in for them. Liberians are for Flanti Kofa being removed legally. Okay? Now, the thing here is this. Flanti Kofa, being a smart person, ran to the Supreme Court. He ran to the Supreme Court as Speaker of the House of Representatives, the leader, the supreme leader of this. I'm saying supreme leader, not like an Ayatollah or anything like that, but I'm just saying, I'm using that word. That's my word. But the leader. And the Supreme Court, whoever in chamber, Justice in chamber, took that complaint, not as a complaint for Flanti Kofa, but as a complaint for the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Okay? That you saying you that plenty saying you wasting that man Gary today, and you still get something. Please leave it in Minnesota to know. Don't forget.
I left everything on here busy today. I'm bringing nothing with me.
That guy was there, just a fun. But anyway, so the point here, Jerry, is that for me, from my perspective, the Supreme Court were invited in the first branch of the government business by the leader of one of those branch lawmaking power, the Speaker, invited the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court not coming looking for case. He invited and asked the Supreme Court. Now, this is the most important one. Asked the Supreme Court to interpret that part of Constitution. He's saying that the people are violating the Constitution. Can you come and tell us whether they are in the right or I'm in the wrong? Or whether they are in the wrong or I'm in the right? And that's how come the Supreme Court came to step in. And people recognizing that now, some of them singing different songs. So for me, it is not the charges that are brought against Flanti Kofa that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the process. And that's where many Liberians are. If these people continue to hold on, there's an interesting stuff in the Constitution also that says the majority, the simple majority, if they don't go to section, the minority, those who are in section, can order the majority to come to section. It's Constitution, not the House rule. Kofi Flanti Kofa and his people have not applied that, because that will be the last straw. If you apply that, that will be a last straw, because then what happens if those people still refuse? do you get the police or the army to go bring them in, or do you now go and have them suspended? And I don't think they want to touch that. That's a nuclear button they don't want to touch. Let me bring in Sissy. Sissy, go ahead. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. I'm talking a lot of Tabataya tonight. What's on your plate? Do you want to continue this conversation?
Really?
Yeah, let's continue the conversation. But I will hope one thing that people are that is going under the radar right now is a push by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and the Liberal National Bar Association to give appointing powers to the Chief Justice.
Yeah.
Appointment of judges from the executive to the Chief Justice.
They're not going to do it.
And I think, for me, I think that is problematic. But I think, as a gather steam, we will wait until we see how many people tie themselves to that. Because if the Chief Justice want to be able to appoint people, then the Chief Justice should run for election.
Yeah.
Then you have appointing authority. But having said that, on the issue,
they can't appoint you. Then you become appoint you. They appoint you. They have to appoint people. I mean, then the people you appoint, they also going to appoint people. Is that what you're going to do?
So on the issue of the almost honorable house of vote merchants, because those are not representatives, the body of voters and their votes. I think Grand Bassa County representative, like I said today on the show, politics in Liberia quite often is not about ideology. So people don't even understand what it means to be a seditious. What is the governing ideology? What does it mean to be a UPist? What does it mean to belong to a political party? And so when you grab any two of those people, they give you different understanding of what it means to belong to that political party. That's what happened today. You have 43 people calling themselves a majority bloc. And then you have this guy come on a national TV and just give non-answers and clearly laid out that he did not understand civics at minimum. And he's a legislator. Does he understand civics at all? When you ask him a simple question, you need 49 to declare the office of the speaker vacant. You don't have that. Yet you are threatening the deputy speaker with creating a vacancy in his office. What number does it require to remove the deputy speaker? If it is the same 49, what do you depend on to make such a threat? If you don't have the 49 to remove the speaker, how can you remove the deputy speaker? And then the part that bothered me, and I didn't want to even go into that, when he talked about the Supreme Court cannot meddle in their affairs. And I was like, yeah, that's not meddling. When one party goes to the Supreme Court for an interpretation of the law that both sides are reading differently, the final arbiter is the Supreme Court. They come in and say, Madam A, Madam B, or Mr. A, Mr. B, here is what the understanding of the law is. And even in this country, there have been times where judges have put hold on legislations that were passed by legislators until it went through the court. People will sue. That is why our Constitution says no law shall be created that violate the Constitution. The Supreme Court gets to determine whether your actions violates the Constitution or not. So for him to have said that, for me, was like, well, what says great civics teachers and stuff. And these are people who...
in teaching anyway in school now, so I didn't know it.
It was just sad. But to your point, though, the liberal, here's the point I keep telling people. And that's why I try to tell him today. I gave him an out, but he didn't take it. There are people who are saying that they don't necessarily support fanatical for a speakership, but they are supporting a process.
Yes.
They are supporting a process. And they say our process that we laid out must be followed. If you listen to Yeke City, Yeke say we came in to the legislature, we have not voted on new rules. So the old rules still follow. And so follow your rules. So my question to him today was, might you see reason in going back to the House of Representatives with your 43 people and follow the rules, and then take away the argument of the other people that are in the 30 that say we don't support COFA, but we support the process. Give them the process. Maybe you get a 49 people. Maybe you get way more than 49 people once you follow the process. And one thing you could talk about, well, there will be some fishing going on. There will be catches of catfish on the side. I want to say you guys are Booker last. I told you are Booker last. The governance process in Liberia. That's the problem. Okay, you got people who don't understand civics making laws. Then he said they're doing the Liberian people work. The Liberian people. So I told him, tell me, just show me 2 things that you have done on behalf of the Liberian people. Send this person there. Then one can get fast. I said, no, just tell me, I just need 2. Or even 1. Tell me one thing that you have done that is the Liberian people work since you started the craziness. You will go to session. You go to someone in 2 hours, say, hold it, are you making 15,000 a month for?
Thank you. Thank you, Sissy. Let me welcome Mr. So. Mr. So, thank you for Mr. So. Mr. So, thank you for joining us.
He didn't get you a chance to introduce you. He can't take over your show.
We are not interested in your opinion. We are interested in your conversation. So whether it's going to be balanced, it's not going to be balanced, leave it with us. We will determine that. Thank you for joining us. What's on your plate before I can go to the co-host?
If dry rare with chicken today.
You think he total eating dry rare with chicken?
You want me to show you the play? The chicken PV, mama.
The chicken feed people dying, but the 2 police people fought. You can't bring chicken feed on help you out. We're not fighting you out.
What? That's part of the rescue train. When you're not rescued.
Mr. So, will you please do the rescue? Speak your mind. What's on your plate?
But I'll tell you. Okay, guys, it's good to be here. It's quite interesting to see what is unfolding. The drama is still on, and I mean, like I said, and I will still maintain my stand because the actions of these people with this majority, this sort of act of another versions of mutiny. They are not soldiers, military, so I consider that as political mutiny. When they know their rules, when they should put their rules into place, in as much they have the right to remove whatever grievances to go into section and debate these issues, I lobby. But instead, they are pulling things here and there. But interestingly, the deputy speaker letter to, so it gives me a sense of, wait a minute, what is happening? It's a real hardball being played there. I listened to the former president, our guys, they did carry that live view. I listened to the speech. I play over and over. And I think she was speaking a specific tone, but I prefer her to have really, as a former state president, former president, and if for any reason she feels the sort of political process now is a problem, I think she should take a stand to be specific in her words. But she was speaking a specific tone and wanting us to guess what she was saying. You say like been working far. So what are you working far for? But we can discuss all of those later.
That is the difference between your type of political engagement and the liberal political engagement. The former president, even though I particularly don't want to even listen to her at this time, but however,
why?
Because she brought the whole problem we got in Liberia right now. She the one brought it on. So not the war. After the war, she didn't put nothing together for us. But that's a different subject matter. I think what she did today, her level of involvement, as we always saying, you're the old person, you can't see the ugliness of the bamboo. Be the first to see the ugliness of the bamboo. So what she did after is to not so much involved, but to tell the participant that we are watching and we will not allow you to put this country anywhere from where we got it from. And we're watching you guys and left it at that. I thought that was an excellent point. But the people were saying, why did she call names? No, that's not her place. She spoke in a general term She spoke to the issue, what is happening. So those who are involved, if they listen, they will take. If they are good people, they will take heed. Let me go to the co-host, the
Oh, Jesus.
uncompromising character of Jerry Barkin,
Is he still a co-host?
Mr. So, please. He's the co-host of everything. Let me finish. This is the man. This is the man. He's not just a security analyst, but he also help to protect the institution from being polluted by anybody who is not of a true independent, claiming to be independent, who is somehow spreading things that are not of importance to the Republic of Liberia, carrying the president's name around every day and things like that. This is the man. When the president, you saw it yourself, when the president was in Rwanda,
That's not what we're
Mr.
here
So,
for.
will you please? When the president was in Liberia, you saw it yourself because you were operating the camera. He was there protecting the president. Physically, he was there doing his job on duty. So he's not just here as a security analyst, someone who has the ability not just to understand from a security perspective, but someone who is guiding us when it comes to the law and security issue on this platform. Jerry Barker, please take it away, sir.
You see, the majority, the so-called majority, the Liberian people are losing confidence in them, and they will soon lose their momentum. I mean, they might have a legitimate reason, which of course they wanted to remove the speaker, and that's their right. That's their prerogative. But the question people keep asking them: go to Ichima and present your case. You cannot say you want to prosecute somebody, and you can't go on the side where you say you're going to do your prosecution. Go in the courthouse and present your case to the judge and say, Judge, we arrested John Doe. Here's the evidence. There's the procedure we did. And the judge will decide and say, okay, we had a case. If there's a conviction, there's no conviction. Is it okay, you're free, or you can be convicted. But if you listen to the Liberian people, what they are telling the majority is that go in Chima and present your case to the presiding or the speaker, and as simple as it is. And now they say they can't go to Chima, they're going to do that. So for that reason, they'll watch and see. Sooner or later, the Liberian people will turn against them. Well, even if they have the good intent to do their case, you see, the public interest is more than what they are doing. So there'll be a public outcry. People will start going against them, that they're holding the country hostage. I mean, it's a hard word to use. They're holding the country hostage, and they're not doing the country business. So I think it's about time for them to start thinking. Let us go to the court. Let us go to Chima, the majority. I ask them, and let them go there and say, Honorable Speaker, these are the things you have done as a speaker, and it is in keeping with our law or regulation or our policy. You have violated, put it to a vote. I mean, that's what our Constitution is all about. But you can't create a kangaroo or courthouse or kangaroo or session and say, yeah, we're going to remove the speaker. I mean, they have a legitimate reason, but you can't do such. So they will soon start losing the momentum or what they have. So their good now will tend to bad.
I don't think so. They are losing momentum. I think things are getting a little bit kind of way here, but
no, nothing going their way though. Things are going downhill from them. But then, let me go back to Sisse here. Sisse, we were on another platform this evening, you and I, and our star was shining heavily. The people in the Republic of Liberia love us. They were, I mean, you heard the callers tonight.
Can you go to the point, please?
Mr. So, will you please let the liberals speak? As I say, you can attest to that, where people were calling and praising the liberal of having some real, and that brought some goosebumps, because this is a guy way in River G. And when I spoke on from an engineering perspective, he said, Mr. Toe is right. And he also started saying things that he's seen. I wasn't there. I'm not even there. Things that he's seen in River G that the people didn't do right, which I can tell from here, right here in Sacramento. The liberal is not only a political guru, but he's loved by the Liberian people. I just want the audience here to know that as well, Mr. So.
Exactly. You are knowledgeable.
You have,
that's
Mr. So, the
whatever
liberal
you
is
talk on
speaking.
ERBC
Mr. So,
is less
the
concerned.
point here is
LPR
should be
you are
grateful.
using
LPR should be grateful for having Mr. Toe, who is loved by the Liberian people. Real
this
time.
is sad,
I'm
and you
not
have
talking
Sister
about
Goyle.
the fight. See,
Sister Goyle,
some of the
who the
people,
death
some of
call
the people
for
here,
35
Mr.
minutes
So,
has
some of
become
your
a
supporters,
regular.
some of the people here, Mr. So, will you let me? Some of the people here in America, they have not seen Liberia for almost 15, 16, 17 years. I'm talking about, I mean people who are in Liberia right now. They love the liberal. They love me. Let me go to Sissy. Sissy, thank you again. Go ahead, Karen. I mean, I'm the celebrity on this show, so I don't know what to say. But go ahead.
No, you do have due deference. I mean, anybody who listens to you that got an ounce of brain cells you know what you talk about. So I think it was just the right time. But look, on
thank
the
you,
issue,
thank you. I appreciate it coming from you. I appreciate it.
On the issue of the House, we are beginning to see why we don't have political institutions in Liberia and we got political clubs. Because at times like this is when the party leaderships, a person like the former president of the Republic of Liberia coming out to speak, I would have assumed we still have the bullet pulpit to pick up the phone and make calls and turn people arms. The former president Weah made a statement that he does not endorse this change and that his people should return to barracks. As of yet, you still got 10 CDC lawmakers that are still supporting the removal. You get the chairman of the CDC comes out after the last time, the 21st, they invited people and said they were going to punish them at the polls if they didn't show up. That emergency meeting got moved. And now they have a mandate coming out from their chairman saying that they back COFA. Yet, you still got 10 members still supporting the anti-COFA wing. So you take those 10 people, you give them to Funati has quorum. So my problem here is if truly political parties are about ideologies in Liberia, and the most recent standard bearer of your political party and the chairman of your political party, the youth wing came out and had their stuff, that all of you should return to base, and yet people are refusing. The former president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who still have some, we assume still have some authority, cannot even leverage that authority. Nobody's listening. So it comes back to say, when these people pretend like they have authority in Liberia, like they can move votes, it really, I'm beginning to question that. Like, if you, President Weah, cannot get your 10 people to return, how can you endorse a presidential candidate for them to win? Would that even mean anything? If you, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, can't do this, how can you even endorse somebody in the future and say, oh God, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's endorsement, it means something? So for me, I'm here thinking about all of these pieces, and I'm putting on my political hat and thinking as a political operator.
Joseph Boyka's name is left out?
Well, here's the reason. Because Joseph Boyka will have to do stuff on the ground. He can't be like Eddie Johnson and come out and speak. He can't be like because he's a sitting president. He's a sitting president.
So that it has to be measured. And there's a reason for which I asked that question, because Jared Washington and
but there's a reason why I didn't call his name.
Liberal Washington said the president cannot get involved. And I said no, they can work the phone line. So I'm just
That's
bringing
true.
in
No,
because
that's true. I was talking about the public part of it, Mr. So, but you're right. They can work the phone lines.
All right,
Okay.
carry on, Mr. Boyer.
They
All
can
right.
work the phone lines, and there's
Okay.
nothing to say that they're not. So my point I'm saying here, though, is like the bigger point is that
Right,
back to the deputy speaker piece. Now the deputy speaker is in. I don't think it's a big deal, but he's between two walls that are closing in on him. First of all, the Supreme Court is asking that nobody do anything, that they all wait until this meeting. So if you invite the deputy speaker to your majority block when he comes, will he be violating that ruling that
Consistent though.
message from the Supreme Court?
That's-
If he doesn't come, then what happens? And if he goes there, will he also be going against the party mandate?
Let me address this here. Two of them. The first one here, I'll pick from the last one, which is the deputy speaker. That letter the deputy speaker wrote, asking them that he's going to consult his lawyer, knowing fully well the Supreme Court has already gotten involved. So he couldn't have just ignored the letter. It's like an evidence. So he now replying to them to say, "I'm going to consult my lawyer." So he has put that in the court, ball court of the lawyer now. The lawyer can come to court and say, "We told our client to wait," or X, Y, and Z. Now, on the larger subject matter that you brought in about political party, the way I see it, is that for me, the reason why we do not have political institution, because most of the political leaders are there for themselves. And as a result, they tend to look not for the entire population, but for themselves, and they give to people to do things in their interest. You remember the car President we are giving to superintendent and other people. What he does, he put his name or his picture on those things. When the party gives somebody, he put his name on it. When the government gives somebody, he put his name on the picture on it. Those are the kinds of leaders we have. Instead of you, when you bring in somebody in your political party, you let the people know what the political party stands for and how the political party is supposed to work in the interest of the people. But most importantly, what are the political philosophy for that party, that the party see themselves will go out and preach to say, we believe this is what we believe, and this is what we want to do.
Honest.
And because they don't have that, these people, President Weah, for them, President Weah served is no longer in authority to give them to serve their interest. So now the man no longer here. What you will do for me now? You can't even give me anything. What you want? What I want to listen to. This is the people you brought into power.
But even today, I mean, even the response from Luther Tappe from the Unity Party, I expect the Unity Party at this point to have a position and to say we have called on all of our legislators to either support Fonati, and here are the reasons why, or not support Fonati, here are the reasons why. But it seems,
and he's been very dishonest.
It seems the conversation they put out today was just a pushback on the CDC. CDC say,
don't put our knee in the kind of thing.
CDC say Unity Party here inside. Unity Party don't put our hand, don't come my knee in your man causing Benny. But that is not enough as a ruling, as a really legitimate political institution. That's not enough. Yes, it's enough to say don't call one in this thing because you can't even get your people you can't corral your people. But the Unity Party at this point, and every other political party at this point, that have people in the house.
We have to recognize it. Mr. So we have to recognize it. This is a political conversation, and we have an intellectual platform that is being utilized at this point by my gavel. Honor my gavel, by the way. Let me recognize Mr. So. Mr. So, you have anything, and then we'll come back to the co-host. Do you have anything to contribute to this? intellectual conversation right now?
Something. I don't know why would you want to ask me if I don't have anything in the first place. I have no
Mr. So
business
we're
of
not.
being here.
It's a
But look,
conversation.
yeah,
You're not going to tell me how I conduct
okay, let me speak
Okay,
my
just
mind.
simply say yes, you
this
do.
is so-
And in fact, let me ask you this. I said, do you want to participate?
Okay, let me just tell you first off front, I'm not like one of you guys. Thank God I am not part of these social clubs that do not even respect the mandate of the party. They do not believe in their party. They don't listen
You even
to their
belong
party
to a party?
leader. I am speaking, please. Thank God
You
I
don't
am
even
not
have
like
a party.
Samson
You don't have a
Toe,
party, then you're going to be talking about pure
I
party?
am not like Samson Toe, who broke down, destroyed Liberty Party. Liberty Party went into 2-3 pieces and decided to seek political refuge with Unity
you have a
Party and
party?
find accommodation.
Do you have a party?
Now here Musa Belete Paul about the party.
Yeah, and then he won't wash his hand there. This is what you guys do. You people, and you are so dishonest. You get 210 faces. And I will not allow that. I will always put you guys in check here. And thank God your guys, Sissy, the other man you are recruited to EABC, you have turned the State Broadcasting Corporation to Unity Party mouthpiece now. It's okay. The Liberian people are watching.
Do you even watch the show, or you can just make up your own?
I watch it. People, by the time I show and people calling me, say, "Oh, you're the other man from Minnesota, yeah, he Napo labor under the boss again today." I said, "Yeah, that." But on a serious note here, you see what the point Cecil made yesterday. I made that point, and Jerry spoke to that. This is just unbelievable. I don't know the essence of people having these political parties. Even the Donald Trump, when he was out, he was still an influential person that was calling the Republican people not to do this, do not do this. And I said that here yesterday. George, we are nothing. Your old man, nothing. People, you got to be decisive in a consequential time. And this is the time. Helen Johnson Sally came, kind of like brought up, and she too, I don't know whether they are afraid or what. She's not seeking re-election, but it's just insufficient to say, "Oh, we don't want noise. We don't want noise maker. We need noise maker. Oh, executive, you take decision and stuff like that." She needs to take. All these leaders. They need to take the bull by the horn. What is happening is we are gradually getting to a constitutional crisis. And I said this here before, I'm going to say it again. If these guys who are feeling they are mutinying political leader members, complete mutinying, just how when the army mutinying is almost like army forcibly want to take an elected government down and they're making demand this and that. That what this Coker guy is doing. That's a similar thing went on with George Duet. And they're talking down. Other people bow down to pressure, but I'm glad that Kofa for now is standing because he wants to put something in place that there must be a system in as much you against him, outline. And one of the questions that is not being asked, but I'm glad that LACC is going into it, but how far will they go under the Joseph Boycott? That's another thing. If finances were induced, in fact, I extended an invitation Friday. We're going to be having one of our own lawmakers. I'm thinking to have 2 of them here. One from the other up there from opposite side. Jeremiah Gaosoka is with the mutinies. Jacob Debbie is with Fanatic Kofa. DB has accepted my invitation to be here on Friday, and I'm trying to see what
I will be one of the.
You're not coming. You're not coming. I'm not going to have people to come.
So you're bringing the other man. What say he took loan to clean sweat through, so you have to get your money back?
I want to hear it from yourself. I don't want to be judgmental. But look, on a serious note, and not just only then, I'm trying hard to reach out to all of them. Because that's the key question here. And nobody is asking these people the question. Was there any influence of finances involved in this whole thing here? We need to know. And that's the first thing that needs to be established. But overall, Mr. Liberal, I'm disappointed in George Weah. I'm disappointed in your old man, Joseph Boycott, the Unity Party. people that are not taking stand in this whole thing to tell their people, hey, you need to go left, you need to go right. And they are, you see, Tomo Fala too, he sees his own shadow, that potentially he could be a victim, and that's why he doing it. But I from all indication, you can see that he was starving Fanatic Kofa in the back with the hope that when the boy he think he's going to be a speaker. They just look at the short-term benefit of their side. Let me pause. Jared Washington wants to come in and let me hear what he get us.
So are we invited to your interview? Anybody from ERBC slash
LPR? When you're going ERBC, you can call me before you want to come to my
Thank you. I support you. I support you.
You know what he's signing? You know what he's signing like? When you meet someone, right? When you get your food, you meet someone begin the community, make a food. So that another mutiny happening here.
Okay, let's get Jerry. Jerry, go ahead, Jerry.
But you see, let's look at. I mean, since it made a point on the former two presidents of the Republic of Liberia. You see, we are in a learning process. First of all, we never have former president to be sitting. All the time, we never have a former president. Now we have two former presidents. Now they don't even know what their role going to be in the government, whether they're out of the government, are they still participating, or are they still have influence in the government? And so it's another something that we have to get adjusted to, because we never have.
Ellen Johnson is a Harvard graduation, no political process. This is no excuse for her, man.
Listen, what? Listen, I'm not giving an excuse. I said we as a Liberian, we never have such an experience for our former president and the current president, to be.
When will we get
But why should we? They're the one in charge. No one went to Harvard, for God's sake. No one left in the U.S. for the longest time.
Co-host express himself freely, please.
No, but you see, thank you. I mean, you're giving the call and say when you're talking, you're making your point. If you not agree with me, wait a minute, let my point, then you can make a point. That's what I'm trying to say. And when it comes to our former president, Madam Sally Johnson, she never wanted Baka to become president anyway. So you know what? Let me just sit right here and see how it fold up. She one of those. No, I come in. She one of those that never wanted Baka to become president in the first place.
Why?
That's that.
No, I
will answer your question. I'll answer your question. Let me answer your question. Why? Because you can see it, 2017, she never supported Baka. She said, we'll turn the country to the youth, and look where we enter into.
I'll tell you why the reason. Because he's able to manage crisis. The crisis is here now, he can't manage it.
No.
Mr. So, will you please let the co-host express himself freely, please? Ahead,
so when it comes to the deputy speaker, this is not a new song we're singing. It's not a new dance we are dancing. It's not a new alphabet that we are learning. He knew it all along. Now he writing a letter and say, let me consult my lawyer. Come on, you've been in the theater for a very long time. So at the present time, you want to tell me all the time that you were supposed to consult your lawyer, or how long you been going before that now he's asking to go see legal counsel? So, but now he should have been prepared as a deputy speaker, and he saw it coming. He's not new to this. No, I don't want to use your word. They are all rats, I'm gonna call it. So, folks, the deputy speaker will not fool us and say, I'm using it as a scapegoat to say, I'm going to consult my lawyer. I'm going to talk to my lawyer for that reason. He cannot talk. He knew it all along. It's like a child doing something, you don't want to acknowledge it. When it comes to the phone, I don't see it coming. No, you are a liar. You saw it coming. And this is what happened in his handful. He didn't even know what to do. Now he found the excuses.
Thank you. All right. Again, folks, if you're listening, this is Samson Toll, Liberia Public Radio. Conversation with Samson Toll is here. I'm here tonight with Honorable Cesar Goya, Honorable Jerry Barker, and CEO Mr. Alfonso Zionso, who is our guest here tonight as well. We're giving him the privilege to express himself freely on LPR because we feel.
You know what? I put a. You see, what? Let me say this.
Go ahead.
I always say on the show, and I will say what's going on in our country. It's a white collar crime. Go reach my article today. I put it on the website. And on the website, I put it in our chat room. read it, I lay it down, what are happening in our country, how we got here. Some of these guys who are receiving the brown envelope, the whole thing is started from the brown envelope business. That what we are here because some of the people say they don't have or
I think some of your writing we need to find a way to put it on LPR website, not just in the chat room, so that LPR, so that Liberian Public Radio fan will have the opportunity to read it as well.
So this
have you been on LPR website?
No, I don't think so.
We have I call it internet publication.
Oh, okay, send it to me and I'll put it there.
No, I mean if you got to send it to the manager, who will then put it up. But yeah, you and I are gonna talk behind the scene about that.
All right,
again,
so
folks.
These are some of the things we're talking about today. The
building that can help you. If you get to me, you get your article. He can't get nothing. He won't come talk to me for and smoothing the ground before he come to you. So he can't help you nothing. No
mind. I can't help you. What do you mean I can't help you?
No, but
my people, I put my grandbaby clothes on here.
Okay.
So no, I have written on that article on what happened in Liberia. It's already carrying the front page of Africa. Other newspapers have carried it. So these are the things we're talking about in our country. The crime is
go to www.liberiapublicradio.com and you will see the newspaper article that we put up. But anyway, go ahead, make your point, Jerry.
So these are anyway, go ahead. So that's what I'm talking about. So go out and read it, and we can discuss it. Maybe it was be one of the topics here one day we can discuss the issue.
Yeah, quickly, a liberal. I don't want to be too fast.
Are you babysitting?
What?
The grandpa babysitting?
Yeah.
I know. No, not grandpa. He stay at the young baby.
But that a $1,000 hand you bend.
No. How you know that a grandbaby?
This is not a distraction.
Minnesota Child Protective Service will go visit that a $1,000 hand you bending behind your bike like that.
Yeah, man. But I so enjoying that because they get taking my attention away. So you happy. I hold you call up to my house here and make my daughter can die with $1,000 billing.
So I'm hoping I just got a message from SOCAN. I say, hey, I want two of you on the opposite side, which is great. Democracy and conversation can be at its best. Because first of all, I don't want to be judgmental. I'm not like you, the liberal, Gary.
You can't say that because you're not bodying us. Those of us that have a genuine stake into this thing, we have a genuine question to ask, but you don't want us to be participating in it. And then you say
that will determine your participation.
The man is taking advice from his co-host that he fired publicly that some people belong in Belayala. So we don't want that you're pointing Belayala. So get our question.
Let me make my point because one of those people, including one of the female on the other side, we had these conversations in the backyard. And my first question was here any money, financial violence in any form, shape, induced in the process of removing the speaker? I think that's the very first thing we need to establish. And I don't want to ring the doorbell ahead of that because when they both come, that would be the very first thing. And let me know for myself, in as much there were video floating out there, lawmakers, politicians are very dangerous people who know whether it was some sort of political ploy to find a way to get the speaker out of this whole thing as well. So they created some sort of drama, some sort of saying that people will be distracted, but not like me. You are easily distracted. Gary Bacon is easily distracted. So I'm going to keep my finger crossed. I will hold my breath until and hear these people directly to hear from them.
If I was somebody who easily distracted, because you're always suffocating people here, I could have been distracted, but I still keep to my point and I make my point clear. So
the reason I'm forceful on you people because you're here as a worshipers and you don't telling the people.
Worshiper to who? To whom?
Joseph Boyka.
Oh, really? Oh, he's a God now. Got to worship him.
That's why you've been doing everything is perfect.
All right, thank you for your tabata. Thank you for your tabata. We appreciate it, guys. Let me open the line. We're not going to be out long tonight. By 9:30 Eastern time, we'll be out of here. So let me open the line quickly.
Yeah, but with due respect, we have our time. When you go on EFBC, you have yourself exhausted. We are not
You're not coming to come
responsible
run my
for that.
time to know. I said 6:30. I mean 6:30, 9:30, 9:30. Samson told Liberal Public Radio, folks. I'm here again tonight with 4 gentlemen, distinct gentlemen of the Liberal Public Radio community. And please give us a call here, 916-533-2048. And let's see what your contribution going to be. But let's go around the room. Let's drop the Flantikofa issue a little bit. And let's speak. Say what, besides Flantikofa, you brought in about the issue of the, let's discuss that, the issue of the Supreme Court Chief Justice with some leaker mind in Liberia trying to say that she should have the right to appoint. Was that with people that was involved arguing for her? Was your political leader part of that argument?
Easy, let trouble. The Liberian Bar Association, they have did opine. Some members of the Bar Association opine positively. I think she had made a speech somewhere at one of their gatherings, and they were talking about that they kind of support. So some members of the Liberian Bar Association support that. My problem with that is, first of all, there has to be a constitution.
Let me welcome Terry here. Terry, please, thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
First of all, there will have to be a constitutional change because you're trying to take authority from the executive and give it to another branch. So there has to be a constitutional change. And then the second part is, even if that authority is given to the Chief Justice to appoint magistrates or appellate court judges, then it becomes a little bit in a place where if you want to have an appointing authority, then we want you to get elected. So then are we going to get to this place where, like in some states in the U.S., the Supreme Court justices do run for office, they do get elected. And not the United States Supreme Court, but many state Supreme Courts have justices that run for election. There are a lot of things around that about the politicization of the Supreme Court. And if I'm running for election, would I be, judging cases based on my re-election or based on the facts as they are? So for me, I think it's a problem, and I don't know why she wants that. I don't know if it's coming out of she stay angry over the issue of the budget situation with the way they weren't given what she wanted. I don't know, but that is something that's coming up. And I just thought to put it up for folks to be aware of it, that these conversations are happening about the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court having an appointing authority.
So let me go to let me just come back to you, and you can make it brief. Then we'll move to Terry here. What was because I'm not too sure what would be her rationale. What was some of the reasoning she gave? Or people who are supporting the idea, what are some of their reasoning, you think?
Well, one of them is about the quality of the judges. That I think the Liberian Bar and the Chief Justice, being the Chief Justice, will know quality people to appoint to the bench. I think that's one of their arguments. But I think you can still achieve that without giving appointing authority. You could still say that we need to, have a memorandum of understanding with the national government that you send us a list and we vet the list and we give you back options. We don't give you one; we give you many options of people that are qualified and you pick from them. I think that would be something that's a little bit more palatable and doesn't require constitutional change.
Thank you. Let me go to Jerry. Jerry, what this is saying it's quite in place, but let me move that step a little bit further. So if these people thinking that perhaps based on the poor quality of judges being appointed, if that's the problem, why would they not want to be involved into political activities? And then as part of the party political hierarchy or whatever you're going to call, that they will make a list of competent judges and submit that list to the incoming president or to their party leader, to say if you become a standard bearer, to say if you become a president, these are the judges that we will prefer. And then when that process comes along, those who feel that these judges are not qualified should also go to the Senate during the confirmation hearing, where they will say why these people are not qualified. I mean, why are we not going through that? Why should the Chief Justice, who was appointed herself, want to be the person not to appoint people? Is that not a Margaret of Samson to Constitution, Jerry? Please.
No, it's not. But you see, it is interesting. And each time people keep pushing, you see, one thing I like about civil issues is that we keep pushing the envelope. That's what civil service is all about. We push the envelope to see whether it will stick or not. That's the important part. People change the law because you see, one of the things to bear in mind is that election have consequences. You know, when we say we're electing the president, the election have consequences. Even in the Great United States, the Great Britain, it have consequences. Because the judge or the president appointing judges who will carry their ideas, even though they interpret. Let's take, for example, what happened in Florida with Clinton, let me say Clinton, Donald Trump case. She threw the whole case straight out. And even up to this time, people still fight and say, oh, she's not qualified, she should have not presided over the case and everything. But she was appointee by Donald Trump. And she threw the whole case out. Okay? But here's the point I want to make. It's interesting. Every time we're changing the law by ourselves and we don't even know how we change it. Look at the city mayor appointment. The city mayor is not an appointed position in our country. It's an elected position. When Ellen Johnson came, she changed it. She said there was no money. So for that reason, and today it has not been changed. There's a legislature, they didn't say sit there and they see it every day that the city mayor then have been appointed. And nobody has said anything about this. So we're making everything, we're changing the law by ourselves and we don't even know. But when it comes to the judges,
Jared, can you just hold your thought right there? Let me work on two of the most beautiful queen of LPR, Madam Esther. She's here. Madam Fatuma is also here. And I want to welcome these two ladies of joining and listening to her. Thank you very much. Jared, go ahead, continue.
So, yeah. So,
since Esther, you see how peaceful it is tonight because the Liberal is running the show. We don't have no confusion. The co-host and myself, we're interacting as though like a swan dancing, if you know what I mean. We're interacting as though we're in I call it ballet dancing. So this is what I'm talking about. Hosting a show. So my Esther, pay attention tonight.
But why Mr. So may feel like that when you talk about the ballet dancing?
Compare this peaceful setting tonight. Compare it tomorrow to the hectic and some show that you're gonna watch tomorrow. Jared, please, co-host, please go ahead.
We're not going to give it credit. He can front his feet from now to.
Yeah, you see, the co-host talking.
Attention. What is it? Attention deficit. That's what it is. It's seeking attention.
Gentlemen, if you don't have anything to offer to the audience,
listen.
turn the microphone to the owner.
I come in there. I know.
You think if you leave, we'll not get quorum? There's no quorum. You want to leave?
No. You got the host, Mr. Toll said we got 8 more minutes, so I got to make it brief. We got 8 more minutes, so I got to make it brief. I'll tell you how to come and speak where he want to speak. But these are the issues. So they're pushing the envelope to see if we buy the ideas. And Liberian people got to be very careful how we pushing the envelope. Because if we start yielding to this thing, then tomorrow is not in the interest of our country. It is not in the interest of our children who come in tomorrow. So I will pause.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I did hear you saying election have consequences. Is that what you said?
Precisely.
Are we having our consequences today as well?
Of course.
That's what I said. The election has consequences. That's what the election is all about. Why
you think we're fighting a riot to beat you up? Because we want a consequence.
It come with benefit. That's what that's why election is all about.
With the 1%er and the broom will took everybody out because the consequence, we enjoy the consequence. So don't ask that kind of question. We're ready for it. Let me go to Terry. Terry, thank you for joining tonight. We appreciate it. What's on your mind? And I'm sure you've probably been listening. And if you want to carry on to jump on to whatever subject matter you care to participate in, please do so.
Well, I think I joined late. I had to do some other things. So, but you guys have already discussed all the issues, so there is no need to add more on it. Even though I have something I wanted to talk about the ombudsman statement towards those who are in appointed positions.
Why you sending my link out to people? The man he praised me today. Why you bringing him on?
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. You be all right.
You were supposed to praise before they bring you on, but anyway, Terry, quiet.
And the deputy party secretary talking to the asshole. That man got mandate.
The ombudsman. So
go ahead, Terry.
And I think there's a crisis between what his name, this guy from the LPRC, what his name, Amos Twe, and the chairman for the party. They are all complaining that because the ombudsman threatened that they should resign one of their positions. So that have been a crisis. But I thought that was something. But for the issue of something that CC raised about the judges, I think it's a critical thing. And I think that the Chief Justice should have control over the apparatus of judges, in my opinion, because apparently they have looked at it. And like I said, I have gross confidence in CNNO. I know she understands the law. And if they're looking at that, maybe they are looking at conflict of interest and many other things too they are taking into consideration that could interfere with judges that when they are not independent or when they are not under a separate branch of government that gave them protection. They could be coerced, they could be influenced, and all of that. But I think you guys have touched on all the major issues. The only thing that seems laughable is the letter from Thomas Fowler. And that's just all I have to say.
Can you expand on that a little bit?
Thank you.
So that perhaps we all can take the pleasure of laughing. Can you expand on that a little bit so perhaps we all can take the pleasure of laughing since it's laughable, you said?
Well, I think Thomas Fowler, just by recognizing the majority, sense something, it sends a huge difference. And some of the things we have been saying all along, it shows that Thomas Fowler, one way or the other in the process, and that he might likely join the majority bloc because the letter alone. And today I saw something in the House with he and Fonati Kofa, the body language did not correlate. And I saw some level of silence in the Safoko, in the Melvin Cole. They are all going silent. The zeal they had, the momentum they were wearing from the onsurge have dropped immensely. So I think there are huge maneuvering going on behind the scene. And my only guess will be for Nati to resign. That's my only guess because right now it's getting tough.
Okay. Let me try to ease your concern a little bit. Those people that you name, Marvin Cole and the other folks, their body language and whatever that you suspect is going down. Well, you saw how Marvin Cole dressed today in coat suit with tie. The Supreme Court has stepped in. This thing is being elevated to a next level.
Okay.
So you cannot be involved in these things and as though you are not educated. And they all want to be seen. So. And they all want to be seen as though they understand the law. And that's why what's his name? I'm saying it again. The speaker letter is to indicate to the Supreme Court to say, I am addressing their concern. I wrote that and threw it in the backyard of my lawyer. Now the next thing is if this man doesn't respond to them anymore until Thursday, what have you, the lawyer can come back later on to say we advise our client not to respond, and then there will be within their legal right to say that. Let me go to Walter Carter. Walter Carter, thank you for joining us this late. You only have 2 more minutes left. But this is what I'm going to do here tonight on this national platform. I'm going to extend the time all the way to the usual closing time to give you guys the opportunity to know that
These are some of the mutiny.
No, they mention flexibility. That's why leader do. That's what leader do. That's what leader do. Leader show flexibility.
Because the subject matter now has been
No.
like,
The mention flexibility because we got
exactly. So, Walter Carter, I will extend the time to the usual closing
No, the
tonight,
mention flexibility.
which is
Go
20
ahead.
minutes from now. So,
go ahead, Mr.
thank you, co-host, for getting my back. Go ahead, Walter Carter.
Yeah,
What's on
thank you. I
your
would like
mind?
to say hi to my fellow colleagues, especially Mr. Jerry Washington, the now refined independent on this platform. I'd like to say thanks for being an independent. No, but on a serious note, right? Terry said something concerning the legislator, the saga that is going on. I think the guys that consider themselves the majority black, they are confused because they have taken what they put together as due process to now vote of no confidence. That's the new terminology they're using now, vote of no confidence. I don't know how that will fall in line with our constitution. I don't know if our constitution provides for vote of no confidence and all that. And I think it's gonna play right into Mr. Kofa playbook because he's a legal scholar. I mean, it just play he's writing the playbook. And I was listening to the guys today. I see the people who are pushing it think they are in desperation. We have to call it for what it is. It is not because of something Fanatic Kofa did against the Liberian people. It all because of their own self-interest. He didn't put me on this committee. He didn't give me this. He didn't do this. He didn't do this for me. All of the allegations, the 6 allegations level against Fanatic Kofa, all of the window now. They are not even looking at those things that they put out there. They are looking at, when you hear them talk on different radio stations, it's about he didn't put me on this committee. We are talking about this. He told me this one. And what is there for Liberian people? What law they were trying to pass in the district that Fanatic Kofa stepped on? The Koga man, the Fanatic Kofa stepped on road construction in Nima County or in your district? Did he go to Fanatic Kofa or allocate some kind of bill on the floor that there should be high school in his district number 5, Nima County, and Fanatic Kofa post step to it? That he mobilizing the Liberian legislator or representative to go against him? I think they are confused people. Why they are wasting Liberian people money? And it's sitting now in an expensive hotel for weeks, spending money every day. Where we got Liberian people, they can't even pay the teachers. We got over 600 new police officers who are not getting paid. They didn't get paid since February of this year. We are almost in November. They have not gotten paid. And you got lawmakers spending. Say that again?
I said I want to fight for chicken boom.
Yeah, you got lawmakers sitting in there and spending $75 a day. $75 US a day in a hotel. And then they had the audacity to come on radio station and say, oh, I made $5,000. You want to tell me I can spend $75 a day? You're not even paying the police people $50 a month, and you're spending $75 a day. They are shameful. They are disgraceful. They should not even be considered honorable people. And today, it made me so angry. I wanted to say something on Spoon. I was chanting. I saw my brother Terry there, and I called them renegade or senators or representatives. They are renegade representatives. Even the Koga man, he know where he comes from in history. He should be ashamed of himself. To sit in front of the Liberian people and tell them we're spending this amount in the hotel, that our own money. That your own money? And we should call it for what it is. Mr. Tor, when you and my brother say go on the LBS show, you should put these things out there. This is not what the rescue mission came for. Liberian people are dying. They are suffering. They can't get 2 square meals to eat a day. and somebody spending $75 in the hotel for no reason, and you come to the people and tell them?
Thank you. Thank you. One of the interesting things that I saw today also was the true involvement of Yeka Kaluba. For me, Yeka Kaluba is like somebody who like to muddy the water. When things are not going your way, the way it's supposed to go, but it's not yet back, call Yeka Kaluba, he will muddy the water and people will not see their way out. And that's exactly what he did today. He came and accused those people of, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, let me go back to Sissy Goya. You brought this subject matter in, and you care to expand on that issue with the Supreme Court, or you think this is about it? We're gonna move on.
No, I think to Terry's point, I see some stuff about the independence. But for me, it's not about a particular person, whether it's Chanel Yo or any other. So it's not tied to her experience or anything, because there's a lot of things that she's done. We can bring her, we can lay out here that is not right at all. But I don't think it's about her. I think she was talking about that office of the Chief Justice. And Terry, you do actually make a good point about if people think that is not transparent. And while you were talking, I was looking out here and researching how other countries do their judicial appointments. So I was looking at, for example, in the United Kingdom, since 2006, they have this commission called the Judicial Appointment Commission. And that is an independent commission that appoints judges. Now, the only problem is in Liberia, we have set up integrated institutions like this, like the LACC and all the other things. And Terry, we see all of them fall apart. Because they all become compromised. If you look at the next place I actually wanted to look at with you guys real quick was Israel. In Israel, they have a committee that composed of 9 members. So the Chief Justice chairs that committee, and then you got another cabinet minister. Then you got what they call the president of the Supreme Court, so that will be our Chief Justice, 2 other justices of the Supreme Court, and then 2 members of the Knesset, which is like their house, their legislation. So you have these, and then you have 2 representatives of the Bar Association. So you have a mix-up of the Bar Association, the legislature, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and the Minister of Justice, forming that committee that vets and appoints. It still has some political undertone to it, because the legislators have to be elected, and the Minister of Justice is a political appointee. But I think that still takes that a little bit away from 100% being the prerogative of the executive, right? I think there is a need for some changes. Now I'm just looking at making it solely the appointing authority of the Chief Justice. I think creates some problem in my mind, but there is room to create some semblance of that.
Okay. Good point. I also agree with you, but my agreement with you is a little bit ridiculous, because that's who I am and that's what I do. I think if, even though perhaps she's speaking and trying to represent the office, not herself, but what happens if this thing goes through and you have somebody who is in it for themselves, or who is in it for the money, and you have some people, rich people, but they have no clue in terms of the law and think that they give them money, and then she start appointing people, judges going to total, they have no clue, and taking Samson to land, giving it to somebody else, all that kinds of good stuff. When do we then start recognizing that this is not something that can work? Because right now the system we have, if the executive appoints, the Senate can deny. Is it not true? The Senate have to confirm, and if they say no, we don't want you, I think the Senate, you don't just appoint and then the person go through. I think
the Senate confirm lower magistrates of
I'm
the.
talking about Chief Justice. The Chief Justice that belongs
No,
to
the associate justices and the Chief Justice have to be they have to go through confirmation. But I'm not. This is my ignorance. I don't know in Liberia. I know in America.
I'm right next to.
I know it happens in America, but I've never seen
I am
a
next
confirmation.
To you. I'm ignorant about it, but that
I've never seen a confirmation hearing of any judges in Liberia.
The lower don't confirm the lower
judges. You want to correct me? Go ahead. I'm saying right now the president, the executive appoint judges. I don't care what level, but I believe there are certain levels that have to go through confirmation. Now, those other levels that perhaps do not go through confirmation. What happens if those people are not qualified? What are the results, and how do you remove them? Now, if the Supreme Court justice can come out to say those perhaps that will not go through the confirmation hearing, we want to establish a rule how to remove them because they are incompetent. That would be something that I can see. But to say I alone can fix it. What's his name? Donald Trump type CEO we got here. I alone can fix it. Then it's something that we're not going to go for.
I think she was referring to the office. But to answer your question on the issue of people having money and buying their way in, how does that stop there right now in the current situation that we have?
Because
that some rich person can have money.
Because the current executive we have, they do not go.
No, I'm not talking about an individual. I think Joseph Boakai. I mean the system as where the executive, whoever is in charge of the executive appoints, what stops somebody from buying their way in?
I agree, but that does not mean that she should come in and say, since the system is like this, that I want to take control of it.
I don't think she's saying she's saying the office of the Chief Justice want to take control.
So anybody can be Chief Justice and do what they have to do.
Well, by the way, if that kind of pressure can happen, let them go to Grand Judea and get somebody from Grand Judea County to be the speaker. I mean, speaker, and then that person can say yes, we will appoint.
By the way, who do you refer to as the Donald Trump CEO?
What are you going there for again? I thought we passed.
I want to know. I hope you're not talking about my CEO on the show.
I'm talking about the CEO, your LPR CEO, that Donald Trump CEO. I don't can fix it. Hey, you to come get kumbaya. I'm telling you what it is. I beg you, man. That's my show. I can run my
Nipa, I say so, yeah. I still want to receive the link. I say that thing.
The speaker, we got problem. After you finish causing, what's his name? After you finish causing, Thomas Farah, and say, okay, the ice ski yesterday on spoon, he said, we can never be tried or held responsible on this kind of when we say those things because we say
the man call Uncle Stomach Fala. I said we've tried that thing in the can do.
The man invoked the constitutional strip. He said again, they can be held responsible for what it's saying.
So then Terry can take it. Mr. So, we're just having some fun right now. But what would be some something else that besides those two gentlemen or the group you're going to be bringing on your show to have this conversation? What are some of the interesting things that you have seen for the since Sunday? Let's put it that way, up to date today.
I mean, all of us, what we're seeing unfolding is very unusual. Adults behaving like toddlers. People, the taxpayers spend huge money on. They're not been going to work right now for the past. I'm wondering what outside they will give. They will be honest and sincere to give. They shouldn't be paid for the time because all we've been seeing is a chaotic situation, and it is sad to see this sort of. This is more than this government. The first is more than the West Wing of Donald Trump. I mean, chaos all over the place, police killing one another for chicken feet. You have lawmakers on the other hand, they're disrupting people movement. You have, as far as what is happening to RRC, party chairman, the man who is also not even in good standing, who is allegedly corrupt, investigations, as far as I'm concerned, inconclusive. President not taking decisive decision.
Okay, I mean, okay. Thank you.
The CEO is on the floor, Mr. Cho. You can't be doing this.
No. Yeah, he was doing well until.
Mr.
Thank you. Let me
Mr.
go.
Paul,
Let
you
me go to
cannot
Terry, and then I'll
interrupt
give
the
you.
CEO.
But my
Mr.
man, who
Paul,
appointed you parliamentarian on the main show?
Mr. Paul, you cannot
I tell
interrupt.
you, I
Who,
tell you,
who appointed you parliamentarian here?
Keto, leave these people. Then, oh, you're moving?
How you can do? You put it in the back.
Keto, leave these people. And Gerald back on laughing. That's good. Leave them. He
Wait a
knows.
minute. Well, hey, Mr. Simpson is laughing. I'm laughing. Then he said,
let me bring in Terry.
I'm a whipping boy here. That's
How
fine.
you
Terry,
less
I'm good.
Terry,
snitching? I
and
thought
then
you're a
we
law
can go to
enforcement
Terry.
officer. You less snitching at that,
Huh?
Jerry. The
Yeah.
minute you see me, that you saw.
Let me go to Terry. Terry,
Oh, God.
from all indication, because you're one of those who seriously look at this thing from a different perspective.
No, he's not, Mr. Toh. He's not, because the Chief Justice that his friends, so that why free his children to come to America. That's why he's there. He's in the for. So let's get it.
Mr. Bagon, you are security man. You so you got my whole dossier inside your closet. That's all I told you. Already get it.
Okay, Terry, since she's your friend, what do you make of it? Are you on the side of us having the power to elect? I mean, to appoint?
Obviously, I will be on her side because I trust her judgment. All the Tabata we're doing here, and you see the woman ruling, the woman is ruling the Supreme Court because she is not her now per se, but they all in that chambers will be under control because she's there. You see what she's doing now in Fonati case. She did it in Kabina Janet case. She ruled that the proceeding of the legislature, the 54th legislature against Kabina Janet, was unconstitutional. All right? That woman handled big matters. And I trusted her because she didn't know me from nowhere. But what I want to say, Deborah, is that there are so many things. Sister just lay out some reasons why it's possible. The only thing he's saying is that his accusation is that it shouldn't be her or it shouldn't be the office of the Chief Justice that should carry that power. But if most of these guys are under these people, let the Chief Justice if the president being one person who is not a lawyer, he's not most of the presidents are not lawyers, can be making decisions in appointing justices and chief justices and all the kind of thing. Why not the people with the reputable authority in the era, don't have the power to exercise that authority? Why should we take it from them? Why should we take?
But
So,
Terry, let me push by a little bit, and then you'll come in. These people were appointed, and you want to give them after they were appointed, you want to give them appointing power.
yeah, but
This is another branch of government that is specifically addressed in the Constitution, and you want to give them appointing power. The appointing power that is with the president, subscribed to the president by the Constitution. Now you're saying that should go. Are you willing now to how to call it, amend the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, or you think that should just be one of those fly by night situation?
Obviously, Liberal, I think that there are many things that need to be repealed in the Constitution, including the Tabata we own now, the law that lawmakers are reading. Some other lawmakers are reading it differently. The Article 49, Article 33, other lawmakers are reading it differently. So there are so many things in the law that need to be repealed. So I think one of these can be also part of it. Because I think the people with the judicial system is a whole entire branch of government all by itself. I agree that the people can be appointed, but these people have so much power that they are a separate branch of government operating all by itself.
Caller, just hold on 1 minute, Clarence. Let's Terry land, and I'll come to you.
The people who have the reputable authority in the field for which they study, I think it would be precise to give them the authority to handle these affairs. And I think like, for example, Mr. So is a journalist. So when we say, okay, because Mr. So is appointed as head journalist, that means that, he must not have the authority. We should deprive him of the authority of appointing other
That's
journalists
why you
that
got
he
the
knows.
board. That's why you got the board to
Yeah.
make sure he doesn't go around appointing people anyway and anyhow he wants. That's why I'm in control. Thank you very much. I don't agree with you. Let me go to the caller. Let me go to the caller. Let me go to
why you gave one man in a country all the power to appoint hundreds
That's
of
what
people?
the Constitution say. You want to do that?
But-
Go back to the
So
Constitution.
if that is right, then why it can be right in some other era?
Because that person runs for office, and the citizens will give them the vote. So my thing is, if the Chief Justice won that, let the justices run for office. Let them go and campaign and run for office, just like it happened in some state Supreme Courts.
Guys, let me take this
No,
caller.
it's not
Let me take
balance
this
of
caller.
power.
Clarence, go ahead.
It's not balance of
Let me
power.
take this caller, guy. We'll come
You're
to you.
playing
Jerry
with fire.
will be coming to you right away, Jerry, please. Go ahead, Clarence.
Mr. Doe, how you doing?
Oh, fine.
I want to ask you a question. Do you think this brightness speed of the former president today, do you think she was really sincere in her speech? The reason why I'm asking the question is the former president used the presidential power and slow. At the time that they were removing Speaker Taylor, but I think over representative like government over the President Ellen Johnson administration. And one thing I know about the former president is so bad. Something when she on another person's side, she on her side to always defend her person. She did it during the election when she was supporting the Zion committee. She called Young Kanga for the support what the Zion committee. She doing the similar thing today because she's supporting for the team cover. When was the former president when they were removing Kabila Jammeh? Why she never spoke about it?
Okay. Thank you.
She's never been sincere. And the last point I want to make here, Mr. Toy, is it. The representative Marvin Cole spoke yesterday. He said, the things he said is that they are saying the Chimo and the Ghana one are responsible. Do you think that man who came and killed somebody or still made him? Do you think that is true? Don't you think that they use a problem to destructive education for that something? Because we are not giving nothing but the problem again. They are pushing now the people don't have the number. So when's the problem?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. You'll be the one to call out tonight anyway. Thank you, Thomas, Clarence. Thank you. All right. Okay. Again, let's go to Jerry. Jerry, go ahead and give her 1 or 2 minutes of your time, then we can do the closing.
I mean, I down to close. I said I gotta go pick up somebody.
You want to make this your closing?
Yeah. We are playing with fire.
And
not even playing with fire, but we are testing the water. Yeah, is our constitution spelled it out. The president is the steward of the nation. She or he had the power to appoint, and for confirmation hearing, the Senate have to approve. So it's a check and balance system. That's what if you appointed as a justice or as a judge, you got to go for confirmation hearing. The Senate is there also to do the event to say whether she or he qualify for that position, or the Senate is not agree with you, with your ideology. That's why you go for confirmation hearing to see what your position will stand. For example, what do you stand on abortion? What do you stand about death penalty? These are all the issues they ask you for confirmation hearing. And for the Chief Justice to come, the Chief Justice, she always complain. I'll put it the other way. She complained. Okay? Because Baka didn't give her money the last time she complained. Now she coming with the other thing. So every day, where there's an issue not going her way, she just complain. That's all. So personally, and the president have the right until if she don't like it, she's a lawyer, she can lobby to change the constitution. She have a right as a citizen, just by as a Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia. She also had a right to switch the judicial system based upon her ruling. And some of these things will also affect the executive. It's happening in this country. Thank you. Have a good night. I gotta run.
All right, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow on the show and see you on Friday on the show again as well.
Let me
go to William Carter. William Carter, what would be your closing on this here tonight?
So I really didn't follow the legal aspect you guys were talking about concerning the Chief Justice and stuff. But I was understanding something about the Chief Justice talking about appointing other judges. the power should be given to the office of the Chief Justice to do the appointment. For me, I think she should have the power to recommend other lower judges to the president for appointment. Because I mean, that people that work in the field, I probably want to talk about, they know the studies, they know they are legal luminaries or whatever. I think she can make some good recommendation to the president, 4 or 5 or 10 people, and then the president in those recommendation can select who he wants to send to the different courts instead of having the power to appoint herself. You don't forget the Constitution is clear on the people work at the will and pleasure of the president. You can take that from him. So I think it will be in her interest that she can talk with the president, or they could craft something that the Chief Justice make recommendation. And the thing about our jurisprudence and our justice system at this point where it has been criticized massively for corruption and all the different malpractices and things. For a judge to make a appointment, it's just like, okay, you are bringing people on to work along with me just to do the same or even do worse. People that will have nobody to answer to. You know what I'm saying? So
Thank you.
it will not. I don't think it will do the country any good. Oh, but let me just close my closing on Speaker Kofa thing. I think the legislature.
2 seconds. 2 seconds, please.
Yeah. So I think the representative, the so-called majority black group, should reconsider the decision, go back and work in the interest of Liberian people. This is time consuming. This is too much money. And while they are sitting in R&J, spending that money is an affront to Liberian people, is a complete insult to Liberian people, the people who are suffering. They should get out of there, go to their various homes, and sit there and come to work and do the Liberian people work. Thank you.
Thank you. Terry, let me come to you. What will be your closing now? You're muted, Terry. You're muted.
Yeah, thank you. Keto said something about, I know, for the Chief Justice to appoint single-handedly something. But what I wanted to say is that
to recommend.
Yeah, to recommend. But he says something that that I'd like to respond quick. But anyway, what I wanted to say about that is that don't you think that is the reason why our judicial system is having problems? Because it is the president that appoints the justices in chamber. So as a result, the justices in chamber are always political. They handle cases carelessly. That have been our problem. They do it according to what the president wants. And that have been that. So part of the reform, I think in America here, something like that happened. I think Donald Trump removed one judge from somewhere, something of stuff. But if you have a political system, you cannot use a political figure to determine justice. If you're using a political figure to determine justice, the justice system will always be politicized, in my opinion. I could be 100% wrong. But from my view, I think that has been studied, because people who you are appointing to be justices should come from down up, should be people that have been vetted, people that have been in the system, people that have reputable criteria. Reputable, people that have integrity in the system. Not because the person supported you during your campaign and gave you money on the water. So the president, when he become president, he said, okay, you know what?
If anybody give you money on the water, that money not good. By the time you come up, the money will let you go dry in it, and then it become money laundry. So go ahead.
Yeah, but so that's just my own. But what I wanted to say to the issue is we are waiting again to see what may happen on Thursday and all of that, and praying and hoping that Fonati is over to turn this thing around. And we are hopeful. But from what I see, I'm still hopeful.
Thank you. Let me go to Sisi, and then Mr. So can take us home. Sisi,
yeah, I think
let me ask you a question though. When was the last time on any of these platforms, whether here or any other platform, that a Liberian or guests or anybody else, that you saw the Liberian to say, the other question, I know you.
We always know everything.
I tell you,
Liberians are born lawyers.
So the issue of the Supreme Court thing came actually out in I think it was Daily Observer October 17th edition.
Yes.
And she initially was asking for significant role and then wanted that entirely shifted to her. And the Bar Association is asking for that. For me, here is where the problem comes in. The Chief Justice, the Supreme Court is the final arbiter. They can overrule rulings of subordinate courts. If you are appointing people in subordinate courts, that then you have to hear cases that they have ruled on. How does that work for transparency and accountability? Right? And so for me, that's my piece. And I don't think this is about CNN. That's why I keep saying it's not about her. For me, I care less who's in there. I'm just looking at the office of the Supreme, the Chief Justice making that appointment, and what will be all of the drawbacks that come with that. Even here in America, judges are appointed by the president. The thing is, these positions are tenure positions, and so that's why you still have judges that were appointed by Bill Clinton, by Barack Obama, but people still serving. It's the same reason why the 173 associate magistrates that were appointed in 2020 by George Weah, they are still magistrates. Even Honorable Joseph Boakai doesn't get to come in and say you're no longer magistrate. So it takes away the politicization of that, because those are tenure positions. I do agree, however, that we have to do it differently. Like maybe we could look at what's happening in Israel, or what's happening in the UK, or what's happening even in Greece, and say, okay, well, might we have an independent commission that comprises the Bar Association, like Terry said, these are people who are in the field. These are legal minds, right? This is an organization of legal experts. Can they make recommendations, or can they have appointing power along with members of the executive, knowing that the executive ran for election and elections does have consequences? So for me, I think this is the whole point of starting a conversation, because this ultimately will require a change of the Constitution. It will require a referendum, and this is our way of starting that ball rolling and how people can have input. And just one last thing I wanted to point out to, even in the United States, they make mistakes. Justice Elena Kagan of the U.S. Supreme Court is the first Supreme Court justice that has never been a judge before. She sits on the U.S. Supreme Court bench right now. So we have to be careful when we borrow things for America. We got to make sure that not everything can work for us.
Law professor?
Yeah, she was a law professor, but she was never a judge.
Yeah, okay.
Those are two different things. Most people that have served on the U.S. Supreme Court have been judges even at the federal level before becoming Supreme Court justices.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Mr. So. Take us home, Mr. So.
Well, taking you home tonight, we're going to have a rough ride, and just tighten your seatbelt, because there was we've been told by the aviation people it's a tumbling off from here to Total. Look, liberal, the hypocrisy, the dishonesty, this sort of political correctness with you and your man Jerry Bacon, it has to stop at some point in time. Yes, you go to on a state radio now to claim to be a celebrity. I don't know what sort of celebrity is that. One who sees the wrong and deliberately blind his eyes to the truth. Look, that country, I don't know whether we have a active or civil society group. It is sad. You can't, why it's happening, it can't happen, it's only Liberia. We've seen a lot of unusual things happening. I think probably one of the biggest mistakes at the referendum called by the CDC, these people, by giving them 9 years, 6 years, and all of that, it just are up to bridge over troubled water. I think there's a need. And hopefully this old man with the experience, and I've come to rescue, they will take all of these into, they will factor all of these things into play. Because the poor people there for 9 years, their job is secure. Because I don't care whatever alleged corruptions, and even if they were convicted, they would never resign. It's not this place. So they don't give a hang for what we say, what we talk, and what the ordinary people go through. But I hope the electorate themselves will have, after all of this, when the dust settle, well, we quick to forget. We are forgiving people. Oh, we'll leave it with God. I hope that will not be the case, because we need to start electing people who have their country at heart. Not these people who just make bad concessions deal. People come to rescue, they help to drown you, they shove your head in the bucket to house on, and you're forced to be drowned. And you have the liberals on the other side that say, yes, because we fire you, we can drown you because you're not part of us.
Who that fanatic Kofa here, they put in the bucket, so see you.
The thing is, the kind of thing that's saying,
don't enable him. Don't enable him, man. Terry, that's not almost finishing. You're not going to tell him. You're not going to put it in gear.
Yeah, and Terry, interestingly, this guy, he said he called himself political guru, but all the people he hangs out with, they're creating chaos in our country. They're financial people are friend. The members will be the president now or whatever.
So you let Terry eat a paper, chew a paper in your mouth now too. I
was trying to laugh. Terry said you should poison, but look, on a serious note, what is happening? I'm wondering what are the violations of their own law if these people misses 5 different sections of what are they going to apply? And I think this is where Fanatic Kofa is putting there. Fanatic Kofa wants to force them, compel them to follow the laws of on the books, and that's what they don't want to do. And they have turned to mutinying military legislature or whatever it is. They can't even get to the number. They can't go to section to be able to persuade, to use their political influence and bring up something so that other people who are in doubt, like I listened to Congress, not Congresswoman. Okay, they are saying Congress. Arto. You got to convince, but they left now. They're gonna sit down somewhere, and they come in, get a poor bus bucket boy here. Everybody running, going capital. That place is a decent hall. Come on, rescuer.
Thank you, Mr. So.
Can I make 2 points real quick?
Mr. So. There is 4 men.
I want to say 2 things real quick. And they're going to benefit me. Number one, Terry, I told you also from the beginning when I said that the issue of Amos Twitter having 2 positions that they needed to leave one way back. I was saying that thing that it was bad.
Amos Twitter defending himself now.
And I said that, and it's good that there is somebody in government that's saying yes, that makes sense. They're going to do that. And then last but not least, today we completed the state of Minnesota passed a law that requires personal finance, where you know how to do credit and banking and other things, then to become graduation requirement in the state, because a lot of our Black and brown people don't understand banking, and that's where we usually don't get wealthy. We get rich, we don't get wealthy because we don't know how to build wealth. And I was fortunate to be one of those people on that committee. We finally finished our work today. The certificate is out there. We are putting our fingerprint on everything education in this state.
So in order to graduate from a financial institution?
In order to graduate from a high school, you have to take personal finance as a graduation requirement.
I'm not kidding, man.
And so it's out there. We have the report is going to come out. We just want our people to understand that your kids now will have access to learn what it means to be financially independent. They'll understand what it means to have good credit, what it means to buy homes, what it means to invest in the stock market, what it means to plan for retirement. Like a lot of our people don't understand it. And when they come here, they're older, they depend on their children to educate them on it. And if your child is not learning it in school, who is going to educate you? And so we find a lot of our people think the only way they can retire is through 401k, and some of them that will buy houses in Liberia. Now your children will have access to have financial intelligence, and they can be able to help our people when they come to this country.
Thank you. Brilliant.
Was that person by Democrat?
No, Terry said you wanted to say something because sister brought in education. I don't want to throw something.
Terry.
No, I was saying something. I was saying that man in a Nigerian suit, what you put on Mr. So the other time, Koga.
There are Coca men there.
You better let us see that man.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it will be a speaker and
Hey,
He's not gonna shoot. He's not gonna shoot the man in there.
Nigerian suit.
You'll be speaker of
Not let
Nigeria.
us see that picture.
Yeah.
There are somebody walking. Yeah, there's somebody walking on here.
And the only picture they could find for the man who made a flyer.
That guy is a troublemaker.
Troublemaker. That boy.
It's a very
I give up
troublemaker.
on that man. What? Wow.
I don't know.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
man,
you
good
tonight, Mr. Soul,
So,
Terry.
you saw what the
thank you,
liberal
guys.
did tonight for followers, viewers. The liberal and his Boasian group, silent.
But the man already said thank you. Why you still taking with the man microphone? The man said thank you.
Don't
Good
mind.
man.
He come here to say you will put me, you will pack me. You can't pack the bull. The bull can never be packed. You think Baga that baby? Baga that baby for you to be packing the baby?
But
Good night, folks.
I am convinced he more than a baby. He more. I see why Helen Johnson.
Eric, that globe behind you, does it have a hole in it?
No, that is his background.
Oh, okay.
Terry, don't mind him. He tried to fall on you.
Mr. So, what thing more than baby? What thing more than baby now?
I hope you're not getting some juice. So he more than baby. Why him go to Helen program today?
Hello, man. I see that.
If Obasanjo were there, I see Obasanjo were running.
Oh, Obasanjo were the program?
You see that? Because you had Helen, so
The
anything
Omar
about
album was
Helen.
way
They
today.
said the good friend or Google friend.
You know what?
The Omar
They
album was
said-
way. You didn't see it? You don't see Fanatic Kofa in there?
Yeah, they were there.
Yeah,
You saw the speech?
Why the old man go? You send
So your man in the Nigerian suit, he was there too.
No, he didn't go there. Now I tell you
know.
now.
So the Omar taking Sashi invited the Nigerian suit man to go meet Obasanjo, to go meet a president.
The Omar already did
Well,
something.
why Obasanjo come to the Omar birthday stuff?
We're not any both friends.
Yeah, your business. There are two former presidents. What you gotta do with that?
I hope they think not more than just former two president business.
Terry told me so kind of thing about what going on, whatever. When I put it on national radio, because he told me in secret.
Yeah. Okay. Get in trouble. Good night, folks. Mr. So, good night.
So we'll be here, and I'm hoping SOCAN responded because say, hey, Representative Dewey say he will be here. You're on the two side. Let us create a hard conversation, but I will keep you guys posted.
Thank you.
And I think we can reach to other lawmakers. We need to, we don't want to create this unnecessary theater and just talk it, jaja. Let them tell us. Maybe there are things that we do not know. And by according them the opportunity, that way we can put them on record as well. So
especially the ones that are very quiet, that are not speaking. I think those ones are the ones we need to reach out to really hear what's because sometimes silence speaks volumes. Like
But when you bring them, give us the opportunity for us all to participate in the conversation. I'm gonna bring them, come wear don't come bring them, come wear how do you call it, suit, Mali suit. You can't sit down here, you think so kind of journalist.
Yeah, look, I hear myself who wear Mali suit tonight.
I forgot what
going on with your man from Della Party.
I don't know, man. I don't know. The man get the microphone. The man get two microphones. The man get highlighting for nothing. My man, you see microphone. You get two microphones there. You get the Baptist preacher where you get a microphone. Is there highlighting?
You know the reason? Everybody wants to be a highliner, so that it will be calling and say, "Hey, come and sit down here."
But sometimes somebody think he says a lot of things that God thinks, but sometimes he says some stuff. It's just in thin air. Labor, remember the last time we were on LBS, when I was asking, when we were checking him in real time about the laws and stuff. Sometimes he come by again. So he can talk something and they can just throw it outside there and see what won't fit. Vendelag. Yeah. But anyway,
join us tomorrow for another exciting.
All right, Terry, good night. Good night. We'll come in tomorrow and listen to Mr. Soul. All right. Again, folks, Samson told Labra Paborito. I want to thank all of you again for tuning in tonight. Been a wonderful, wonderful show. We say thank you very much. Please let's tune in tomorrow to Mr. Soul Show, where we'll be able to have an opportunity to have another wonderful, wonderful show. To those of you that are tuning in tonight, thank you, all of you. Thanks to all of you that have been tuning in. Thank you very much. Please let's continue to pray for one another and continue to follow us on LeBron Public Radio. And YouTube, by the way, YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, you should be able to see the show here as well. Thank you very much. And I'll say good night to all of you. Good night, folks.
Ateito nalukio na kati ya Kinshasa bobi mama na bani na fwara